was told by your wonderful assistant over here that I should tell you that I disagree with almost everything. Obviously, we have not had a 2-hour conversation. So, like, who knows? Who knows? Maybe we had a few beers. We agree on something, but
I'll have water. You can have whatever you want.
All I've heard is stuff that I'm just like, what? First, I want to say that.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nanifia Scarlett. Today we're back again with another video from Charlie Kirk. So today, Charlie Kirk knocks arrogant liberal student down for a few pages. Okay, I love it. I love this knockdowns, because if you are arrogant, we put you in your place. So guys, without further ado, let's get started.
Hi, Charlie. I want to say, by starting off, I was told by your wonderful assistant over here that I should tell you that I disagree with almost everything. Obviously, we have not had a 2-hour conversation. So, like, who knows? Who knows? Maybe we had a few beers. We agree on something, but
I'll have water. You can have whatever you want.
All I've heard is stuff that I'm just like, what? First, I want to say that I guess as the first 2 hours of your speech was you complaining about kind of these leftists and kind of this, but I've never heard any policy positions. When I go to something like a Senator Sanders convention or someone on the left, they're going to talk about healthcare, inequality, inflation, growth, but you guys all seem to want to talk about is how the left does this or the left does that, but no policies of how to fix anything. So I guess that kind of goes with my first question is, what is the GOP's actual position when it comes to fixing inflation?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I'm not a senator, nor am I aspiring to be one. Number two, yes, I was mildly distracted by the windows being broken and the terrorists outside. I fully acknowledge that, okay? So I was a little policy shallow tonight and a little bit terrorist deep, okay? I will admit that. Third, I'll say this. I don't speak for the GOP, right? I have my own ideas, and I actually think the GOP does a terrible job. But let me give you some ideas that I think you might agree with, okay? I think that vital products should be made in America, not in China. And we should use tariffs and sanctions to get it done. Vitamin C, penicillin, critical infrastructure should be manufactured here. I think American college graduates should be given preference to go work for American companies above foreign workers. And that means reforming the H-1B system and actually giving you, the American college-educated kids, a preference because we have a moral obligation to our own citizens over the citizens of another country. I think we should fully close the United States southern border. I think we should not allow illegal...
I just want to interrupt you. Sorry. You were saying you're for a government program that puts American college students, so like
reforming the immigration system, right, so that big companies like Facebook don't do quasi-indentured servitude to bring foreign workers in and be able to compete.
But that would be a government program that would do that.
Well, yeah, the government program actually already exists.
Okay, so you're actually a conservative who's for increasing the government size, not for decreasing.
Well, no, I want a small but strong government, so I want things that are smart. For example, I'd love to have more Border Patrol agents and less IRS agents. So where it makes sense to increase the volume of government agents as long as it is pursuing a couple things that are core to my philosophy. A strong country that has borders, sovereignty, culture, and maintains a moral commitment to its citizens, that you should be able to work hard, play by the rules, be able to have a family, own a home, and see rising income and wages. Those are very basic things in a social contract.
Why is the increasing IRS agents, which are taxes that belong to us, they help pay for things like roads, GPS, infrastructure, basic things that you and yourself needed to get here.
Yeah,
why would that be so bad, having everyone pay their fair share of taxes so we can have a government that functions correctly? Well, obviously, government does work for everything, but we all benefit from government services every day.
I'm sorry, no one in this room is going to benefit from 87,000 new IRS agents. Instead, those 87,000 new IRS agents are going to be deployed against small business owners. But I could keep on going with policy examples. I can keep on building it out. But let me just say this. I love markets, but I'm willing to critique markets when I think they're not serving people and they're not serving the nation. I think our overindulgence in free trade fanaticism has been a major mistake over the last 20 or 30 years. I don't worship corporations, but I do think that entrepreneurs and private property rights and people taking risks are a general good for society. And not only does history show this, but common sense logic and material reality shows all this. I can give you more and more examples if you want of policy stuff. That's less actually interesting. The reason I don't go through policy stuff is, again, is that I'm not running for office, right? I don't represent the Republican Party. But if I can build out a worldview that you can agree with, then the policy answers will come naturally, right? So if you understand morals and values, then you could answer the next 1,000 policy questions.
I guess for me as a student, I care a lot more about policy than what people say. Like what government does is a lot more important to me, and that's why I was confused why your speech was not about policy.
Because, again, I'm not running for office.
I want to ask one more question before I go. I guess for us, there used to be a thing called the middle class, or the idea of a growing and strong middle class.
Yep.
And I feel like for the past 10 years, especially on the right, maybe on the left too, for the more neoliberal left, but the right, that idea is kind of shrunken. I don't think there's a lot of talk in the middle class. do you view income inequality as a problem?
I totally
and
disagree.
Income inequality, I want to
So-
say income inequality being the difference between
Let me
the
ask
need
you, though,
and the median.
I have a question. Why is it that the wealthiest counties in America all vote on the left?
Because that's where how money works and how capitalism works is where all the wealth is, where all the people want to be.
But
So Silicon Valley is all the jobs and all that
why
stuff.
do they vote liberal then if the left...
In what ways they vote liberal? Not on taxes, not on things that I am for.
They vote for Joe
Socially-
Biden, they vote for
socially,
Nancy
they're left,
Pelosi.
But they're socially left, but they're not economically left. Believe me, if you go to the Bay Area, they are very economically right. Dianne Feinstein is not left, in my opinion. So it may be left socially, but I don't think they're left in my point of view.
Yeah, but so then let me ask you then, why is it that the muscular class in America has shifted right over the last 7 years?
Not according to the midterms. I mean, you guys tanked on the midterms most recently.
You keep
So,
on saying you guys. I don't represent
sorry,
the Republican
my
Party.
apologies.
But I just want to critique one of your misguided premises, which is that somehow the right is not representing middle-class voters. It's the opposite. Actually, states that are traditionally blue-collar, muscular class, middle-class states are now solid red states. Look at Ohio. Ohio is a state that used to be far left, and now it's more in the right direction. So what is the right actually doing about it? To answer your question, a couple things. We're rejecting neoliberalism. Like, how about this? We shouldn't send $200 billion to Ukraine, and we should instead represent our own people and close our own border. That's number one. Number two is that we should be unafraid to use tariffs and sanctions to say that critical infrastructure and things that matter should be made here in America. Whether the delusion on the left, and I just want to challenge you on this, is that the left has a bunch of people that talk a good game, AOC and Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, but when it really matters, they're nothing more than neoliberal shills that are willing to invade other countries, invite them into our country, and then lie to their voters under the veneer of social liberalism. The populist movement in America that represents real people, muscular class teachers, police officers, and firefighters, it lives on the American right because we listen to our constituents and we're willing to fight for ideas like tariffs, sanctions, closed border, and no more money to Ukraine. The left is shilling for all those things. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Getting to the next one. Thank you.
Can I just ask, is the difference between the mean and median income inequality,
There's
is that a problem
50
to you guys?
people in line.
Income
Thank
inequality.
you.
Is that
Income inequality is a big issue, which is exactly why I support the things that I said. Next question.
Next question. I mean, first of all, I would say, what do you think about this? Because me personally, I think Charlie is right. And first of all, let me acknowledge the fact that yes, he said he's not a politician. He's not a politician, and he's not even planning to aspire for one. So I don't know why the guy wanted him to speak about politics. You know, Charlie is a one-man standing. I mean, he speaks his mind. He don't speak for any politician. And if I've known Charlie of Achekilima, I know he speak what thinks is right. If he agrees with a politician, fine. But even if his opinion doesn't stick to any politician, he will make it clear that that is what he thinks, and he thinks that particular person doesn't make sense. He will just say it's point blank. He don't just support because he has to. He supports someone because of what he believes in and what his perspective on the person's agenda is, you know. So I really agree with that part. And he talking about the fact that there should be the need to have that production of certain things in your own country. Yes, I'll emphasize on that, not for America as a whole, but for the whole world, you know, especially if you come to my side of my country, I hope this should be so enforced. And I wish we have people like, Charlie Kirk in the midst of our politician, you know, Charlie Kirk's brain, you know, how he thinks, how he sees things. I just hope we have his perspective in my country so that they will see what they have not been seeing these whole years. Yes, it's very important for a country to have that production, certain things, you know, production of certain things in their own country, and make sure their students or their country people who schooled in their country will maintain there and work there. Because if you take my country as example like this, people always move from my country. Let's say immigrants, like countries, let's say like America, the UK, you know, to work. And the country that's schooled you, instilled all this goodness, this knowledge in you. Now you are leaving that country to move to another country to work, you know. So now they are benefiting on your your knowledge, they are benefiting on your intelligence, and which is very bad, So I just hope they find space, because, and I don't blame them. I don't blame the travelers, because they have to. They've worked hard. They've paid huge sum of school fees to train on their intelligence, and if they don't get prize for it, it's just a waste of time. So at least they have to move from here to go to the place that at least they can benefit for their hard work on their intelligence. And which is very bad, because let me use nurses in my country for example. Nurses, they train them so well, but they always travel from here to go to the UK, to go to the US, to work. And when they go, they work so hard and they are being recognized. They work so hard and they are being recognized. Why do they have to move? Because the motivation here is poor. It's so poor. The pay here is not good. So they don't you don't maintain them, you don't give them the choice to move. So now the country that trained you, the country that equipped you, to be who you are. Now you are traveling from that country to go to different country for them to benefit from your intelligence, benefit from your knowledge, and it's nothing near their fault. Because if that country you build the students, you make sure they get that motivation, they get that room to work, at least it builds the country as a whole. It builds the country as a whole. I remember once, I think early this year, one Ghanaian guy developed this an AI thing. I think in one of the Asia countries, I think those Arabic country. He developed, and it was really trending. He developed this AI program, and it was a competition, and he won. You see, so now people are ripping off all the intent, because if assuming he was here, he will not be even recognized. He will not even make use, because he will not have the platform. He will not have all the equipment or the resources he needs to do all those goodness. So as a country, you need to develop your country, because humans are the main resources that you need to maintain or develop a country. So you need to improve them. You need to give them the room, every resources, every motivation they need, so they put their intelligence in it, and I bet you the country is going to develop. But outside of the country, what we know is exporting, importing, export. We bring everything we export everything we, even the food we eat, the clothes we wear, the shoes, the make, everything we do as a country is being exported, and which is very bad to the country's economic stability. It's really bad. So for here, I really agree with them, and I'm really surprised Charlie was saying those penicillin and those. He mentioned certain things that they are being exported from China. It looks like China is the whole world center of exportation. I never knew America export those things from China. So it's basically. So let's come back to our part of the country. So it's like basically we export everything. If not America, China. If not China, Turkey. If not Turkey, Dubai. Like we export basically everything from different countries. But if we focus on our country, develop some, and for them to come and let's say even export, or from our import it, for us to import it there. We know here as a country, economic is going some way. Let me know what you think about this video. If you have any recommendation, suggestion for me, let me know what you actually think about this video. If you have any recommendation, suggestion for me, don't forget to leave it down there. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And don't forget to click on the subscription button for more notifications. Thanks for watching.